Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are playing as Belgium, and we are still trying to get Guaranteed Liberties enacted. An anti-Dutch league is formed in France. Well, that's not great. I love those guys. The French. I think I can probably afford an increase in the size of the construction sector. Let me see, we're at 13 construction sectors, so let's go ahead and build a few more. Let's even out these numbers. Everyone likes nice round numbers, right? Let me see. We'll go ahead and throw these in at the top. Except for this, we'll do this first because it's almost done. And because our trade routes are continuing to increase in size. So that'll cost us a bunch more money, but that's okay. Let's see. Grain continues to be expensive, but we're building up rice farms to deal with that, so it shouldn't be too big of an issue. Now, we got a little bit of infamy, but we've still got the capacity to play around here. We've created Sumatra. Sumatra is a subject of ours, which is nice. That's pretty rad, pretty cool and good. Java's another multiple thing. It'd be interesting if we could grab Brunei as a subject. Let me see, would anyone stop us if we made them a protectorate? Looks like Mexico would. That's an interesting situation. I wonder why Mexico. Is Mexico... Yeah, okay, here we go. So now there's a movement to preserve no home affairs. Mexico is a significant power at this point. USA has largely failed to do their usual conquests, so Mexico is standing. Mexico is solid. Interesting. Maybe we'll wait for now, or maybe we'll target one of the other states in Brunei. Ooh, there's improved fertilizers. Wonderful. So, we'll go ahead and get our fertilizer plants working a little harder, and we'll get our farms in the core using more fertilizer, and hopefully that will balance out our fertilizer needs and also produce a ton more grain. And it has. Wonderful. Let's get some export routes. Everyone wants our grain. I've got grain on... What have I got grain on? I've actually got it on Protect Domestic Supply. Interesting. So we'll set it to no priority. I don't want to set it to encourage exports. But I've got a solid amount of grain outputting now, so I want to take advantage of that. So, let me see. We've got we got higher success chance than stall chance here, and a solid chance of an advance event. So I'm feeling reasonably confident. There's an advance. Allies of convenience. Just as the Guaranteed Liberties law looked ready to topple, the Intelligentsia found itself rallying with the assistance of Lucien Coles. It now has the support it needs to pass without compromise. When the support was called, the unlikeliest hand in the audience rose. Another lifted and a third behind them. The faction with the least to gain for its passage, yet nothing to lose either way, assents. Cheers of exuberance followed howls of defeat as the law charged on ahead. So, Lucien Coles is our positivist in the Intelligentsia. Welcome their support. He gets increased interest group attraction. 1% of Flemish pops become more loyalist. And we get increased enactment chance. Or tally this favor, he certainly will. He gets increased interest group attraction. Intelligentsia get interest group attraction. So this just makes the Intelligentsia a lot stronger. But 1% of Flemish pops becoming loyalist is pretty rock solid. We get 5% success chance either way. On the other hand, I've got a lot of loyalists, not really hurting for loyalists. So, yeah, we'll do the second one. That's nice. Got a little enactment chance. Great Britain's going after Bemba for colonization rights. I don't have anything to do with that. We'll let it go for now. So, I was looking at other targets. Pontianak is an interesting one. Tongue. Wow, yeah. I think Borneo is rather in need of uniting. Brunei is obviously the best target. I think, because they're the largest. Although Banjar is an interesting target. If we go after Banjar, does anyone stop us? No. Oop. Excuse me? An aristocratic revolt in Siak. Okay. Let me see. They got 5 battalions. I'm not super worried about that. We'll go ahead and send the main army. I don't want to get silly about this. All right. Don't worry, Banjar. We're coming for you eventually. Surakarta and Yogyakarta are interesting targets because I can potentially... Oh, Bali. Bali is a British puppet. Interesting. And obviously, Portugal's got a hold of the eastern Sunda Isles. So we've definitely got some options down here. But again, I want to create stronger puppets. All right, I have no interest in this conflict. Unless the French folks would be happy about it, the pro-French faction, which they certainly would be, now that I'm thinking on it. I think France wants, but we'll probably support them. Unless it looks like this is going to be a whole situation. Particularly if it looks like there's going to be someone on the... you know what, we'll dive right in. It looks like there's going to be someone important on the other side of it we might reconsider, but I think for now we can definitely afford to get involved. I've already got my units mobilized, and or my main unit at least mobilized, and the French are more than capable of winning against 2-0, so I'm not worried. A campaign of banquets. Louis Blanqui's attendance at a bourgeois fundraising banquet in Brussels has led to an uptick in funds promoting guaranteed liberties. As the organizer, at the end of the table, he stood to give a toast to the clear wisdom of the reform. He could not help but think of how closely the sound of his fork on the glass represented a coin falling into a bank or a spent cartridge hitting the ground. Nourishment for the body and the budget. Flanders gets increased political strength from wealth. And also we get reduced enactment time and increased enactment chance. Or vast sums of money flowing into politics, you say. Reduced enactment time, increased enactment chance, double the amount, same effects, but Louis Blanqui gets grifter. Louis Blanqui is our radical. What does grifter do? Reduce popularity. Not that bad. As a ruler, tax waste, but he's not going to be a ruler. Yeah, we'll do the second one. Hell yes. Alright, so we're up to 50% chance. Stall chance is at 20%. It is increasing as the movement to preserve no home affairs increases, but I got a solid 50% chance at this point. There's the war popping off. So how much is this? Interesting. The Dutch-French Friendship Committee doesn't seem to have an opinion either way about the... Although I guess we're not in the war yet, so maybe once we get into the war with them, that'll help things. Finances are a little bit rockier, but that's okay. 2 arms. Alright. And that's a win in that war. Interesting. They're not bothered. Alright, so we're effectively beating back this aristocratic revolt. Feeling pretty pleased about that. Where are we in terms of the power block? We're at 172. We need a little bit more. Again, can't do anything about that directly. Do I need to build these fertilizer plants? I don't think I actually do. Because we should be rock solid on fertilizer. Like, we're producing a ton of fertilizer from, I think, 2 sets of level 2 fertilizer plants. I think we actually cancel this project. We definitely need more ports, though. We're a little short on convoys, and we need to keep reach to our colonies here. So let's. Oh, we got a bunch under construction already. Never mind. We're good to go. We're working on what we need to be working on. Yeah, so as you can see, the movement to preserve no home affairs is increasingly strong. They're not radicalizing many people, happily, though. So I'm hoping for a good, solid completion. Maybe a step of progress? Maybe, just maybe a little progress. Maybe a move to study. Sick leave. A lengthy speech by Lucian Coles took a wild turn after consuming a tainted drink. With his incapacitation, the government has lost one of its most effective advocates for guaranteed liberties. A page was dispatched shortly after the speech begun, and he arrived with the sandwich and the fateful drink. Everyone in the audience could see that the long-winded speech became a battle to put down a revolting stomach. Indeed, had the speech stopped, the speaker's dignity would have ended with it. Had it not stopped then, people might have demanded an assassin's hand. Wish Lucian Coles a speedy recovery, reduced enactment chance, 2% of Intelligentsia pops become more loyalist. Lucian Coles gets reduced interest group attraction, which is for the Intelligentsia, or scour the vicinity for any assassins on the double. Lucian Coles becomes more popular, he becomes wounded. Enactment chance is reduced a lot less. You know what? We'll go with the second one. I'm okay with Lucian Coles losing some health if it means we can keep our enactment chance. Still got a rock-solid success chance and a good chunk of advance chance, so I'm still feeling reasonably confident. And there's the end of our other war. So that should demobilize our main force, and we should... Oh, interesting. The Anti-Swedish League wanted something, but it's gone now. Protests across Friesland. The movement to preserve no home affairs has organized mass protests across the Friesland region. While the protests have remained peaceful for now, local authorities have raised concerns about possible violence. It was more people than he'd ever seen before. Zwolle, once quiet and known for an almost pastoral character, had come alive with shouting voices and waving flags. He wondered if any of his neighbors were in that crowd. He had always thought that he shared nothing in common with them. Perhaps he had been wrong. Allow them to air their concerns, plus 10 movement political support. Increased pop support, reduce mortality from turmoil, extra radicals from standard of living decreases. Or the authorities must act to halt these displays. 2% of pops in Friesland become radical. Increased state penalties from turmoil, increased radicals from standard of living decreases. I'm actually going to go with the second one, because I don't want to increase the strength of this movement. So let me see. What is that? Okay, Friesland still doesn't really have a whole lot of radicalism, so I'm feeling pretty good about that overall. Yes, we're building up railways. How are we doing with infrastructure in the Marina Kingdom? Not doing as well as we could be doing. Let's go ahead and build ourselves some railroads there. We're probably going to be building railways in a lot of our puppet states. Interesting. Sind is rebellious, but is it because you're short on infrastructure? It's not. You are short on administrative taxation capacity, but that's a whole other issue. So, Sind, why are you rebellious? Tyrannical oppressor, but you don't wish to be liberated. You wish to be part of my situation over here. Against the odds. Despite not enjoying full rights under Dutch law, some wealthier Sunni people have begun moving into neighborhoods and frequenting establishments they would normally be excluded from. Oh, interesting. So this is a religion-based discrimination event, not a culture one. If we want our children to have a future, this is where we should raise them, he said. I want them to live somewhere safe. She crossed her arms. Have you seen the looks we get? When people talk about safe, they don't mean for us, they mean safe from us. And we may need new regulations to keep the peace, increase radicals from discrimination by a lot for 5 years. 2% of Sunni pops in the Netherlands become more radical, or they've fairly earned their success with all that entails. Salty but weaker Catholic Church. So, weakening the Catholic Church is something that is good for me. They're pretty weak as it is. They're very unhappy already, though. That's costing me some education access. It's not the worst, but it's not ideal either. On the other hand, increased radicals. Well, I don't actually have that many. No, we're role playing the good guys here. I'm gonna do the second one. I'm not role playing the good guys that hard. Oh my God! The guy leading them got so mad he died. Oh man, burst blood vessel in the forehead. It's a bad way to go. Law progresses to study. Wonderful. So that's a nice success here. 1 step down and 2 to go. Now, I was talking about taking over states in Borneo. I was going to target Pontianak. They've got a defensive pact. Okay, so they've got alliance with Surakarta and Yogyakarta. Or no, who was I targeting? I think I was targeting Banjar. Yeah, nobody stops me if I go after Banjar. Let's do it. So, how much of an army does Banjar actually have? 4. That's not much at all. What are you? You're all irregular infantry. I could do this with my weaker army, frankly. But that's not sensible. Let's take the Marine Royale and bring them into the action. We'll need to naval invade, but that shouldn't be an issue. To preserve no home affairs is getting steadily stronger. Oh, an Anglo-Indian peasant revolt. Interesting. This is something that France is probably extremely likely to get into. Oh, no, they're not. They're actually mostly not going to do that. Interesting. Alright, so they offer to owe us an obligate. You know, I don't know. This isn't my bag. I'm not a challenging Britain tier powerful right now. So part of what we're doing here is we get a hold of Banjar. Gonna improve relations with them a little bit. We get a hold of Banjar, and then the farther we go with this, the happier they'll be, because we'll be feeding them territory. So currently they hold East Borneo, and that's Kutai and Bulangan. Ooh, law progress to voting. Wonderful. That's excellent. We still don't quite have the bureaucracy that we need, because we're putting a lot of bureaucracy into our trade routes. So I'm going to continue to increase the size of government admins. I'm actually going to want to increase internal affairs significantly once Guaranteed Liberties gets enacted. So I think we'll work on building up government admin in our more... I think we'll build more in Friesland and... Let me see. Friesland is our less populous area. Oh, Holland is quite populous. Not as populous as Flanders or Wallonia, but still populous. So we'll put it in Friesland. Ooh, interesting. A Catholic party. And what this will do is it'll give us plenty of bureaucracy to play with and to increase the size of internal affairs pretty quickly, or as quickly as we can, as things get going. No thank you, Sambas. I don't wish to invest in you right now. Don't worry, I'll... Wait, Sambas. Where's Sambas? Over here. Don't worry. Once I've conquered the country, I'll invest in you. 2 arms. So... yeah, same thing, Bahrain. Just do a quick naval invasion here. Nothing too complicated. I don't know why you're going over there. Ooh, monitor has been unlocked. So, can I... Well, we'll finish this little war first, and then we'll deal with that situation. So where are we tech-wise? We're going for hand-cranked machine gun and then Jenna Cole. That's interesting. So do I continue to plow forward in production, in military? I don't think so. In fact, I think the next place we go... No. The next place we go... Oh my gosh, we've already got steel frame spreading to us. Alright. Hold on. We've got work to do here. Okay, this situation in Bundelkhand, I can't get involved in that. So, we've got 16 construction sectors. Steel frame buildings costs 40 glass and 50 steel. So, going to 16, that means that's going to be 800 steel. So where are we with our steel output? Steel is reasonably expensive, actually. We're going to need a bunch more. Let me see. Steel mills are currently producing 90 steel a pop, so we'll just go ahead and build 10. That should be fine. Where have we got steel mills? We got some in Holland. We'll put 2 levels there. None in Friesland. 2 in Gelre. 3 in Flanders. 3 in Wallonia. And that should go reasonably quickly. Mutual foreign investment rights with Prussia. You know what? Sure. I sure shall. How are these battles going? They're going great. We are winning. Excellent. And that makes Banjar our protectorate. Alright, let's go back to improving relations with them. And then Kutai and Bulangan are going to be our next targets. So a conquer on Kutai should be fine. Do they have any diplomacy I need to worry about? They've got an alliance with Selangor. I don't think I need to concern myself with that. But if we do, I'll just make them a puppet. Hey, there's Guaranteed Liberties. Wonderful. So, interesting. So, the Petit Bourgeois want to join the Agrarian Party. That's curious. And the Liberal Party consists of the same groups as before. How are things going for the election? Liberal Party has huge momentum. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, so now that we're in universal suffrage, the trade unions have a huge edge electorally, which is quite good. So, next. Let's go ahead. We do not have even enough bureaucracy to get higher up at all, but that's why we're building these government admins. So, speaking very briefly, with Home Affairs, we get reduced revolution secession speed. That's common to all different forms of Home Affairs. But with Guaranteed Liberties, and that's the same as every other one, Guaranteed Liberties gets us reduced radicals from standard of living decreases and increased loyalists from standard of living increases. Very briefly, it makes us very, very resilient to fluctuating standards of living, which is very, very good. Commander commends Civic Coalition. General van Coverden has made public statements in support of the Free Trade Party, bringing into question the political neutrality of the military. It is my duty to defend the nation and its interests. Politics isn't so much a part of war as battles and logistics are. I don't see the problem with doing my duty and doing what I can to make sure those who are best fit to protect the nation end up being the ones in charge. Extra momentum. Friedrich van Coverden can say what he wants. Reprimand him. Good soldiers don't give orders, they take them. Plus 5% officer pops in the United Netherlands become more radical. Or if he likes politics so much he ought to get more involved, he becomes the leader of the industrialists. You know, that's fun. That would make him a reformer. Let's do it. That'll be fun. So Banjar, reasonably entangled with us. Their liberty desire will be going down more readily once they're part of my once relations are better. For the others, they're all down to being dominions, and that's basically where I want them. I don't necessarily want protectorates right now, but I was going after Kutai to increase the size of Banjar. So let's. Yep, again they got an alliance with Selangor, but I'm not worried about that. We'll go ahead and hit the button. Fruitful endorsements. In a gesture of solidarity with the Liberal Party, Louis Blanqui has encouraged his supporters to vote for it in the ongoing election. For the interest of all principled people, the Liberal Party has a consistent record of excellence. I cannot speak higher of those brave men and women moving the United Netherlands forward under their name. He has our thanks, certainly, extra momentum, or this endorsement would best be more specific. Less momentum, but more power to the Intelligentsia. You know, I think I'm going to go with the extra momentum. That seems like the better call. Kutai still also only has 3 battalions, but they are line infantry. There's steel frame building. Alright. So I can't get to doing that right away, but I can definitely... There are things I can definitely do. Let's go ahead and mobilize our army and get them into the area. We'll do the same with our fleet. I think it's going to be that same C node, so we'll send them there. One thing I wish there were an easy way to find is where what provinces are considered, what states are considered adjacent to which shipping lanes. That would make me a very happy cat to have that information. You gonna get in this, Selangor? You gonna honor your alliance? Selangor? Seems like they're not gonna honor their alliance. Alright, I think I need to move these government admins north of the railways, because gosh and also golly, I need bureaucracy. Partisan papers. Party-affiliated newspapers have been proliferating during this election season. Publications associated with the Agrarian Party have been particularly effective in spreading the party line. Read all about it. Honest politicians attacked by shameless cowards. Leading candidate for office issues heartwarming appeal to the common man's heart. Man on campaign trail pets puppy. Read all about it. The Agrarian Party has used the papers brilliantly, or newspaper circulation is through the roof. This is a boon for publishers. I'm going to go with the second one. Let's not jeopardize the healthy lead that the Liberal Party has. All right. Paul van der Wijck's term has ended, and our new leader is Charles Struye. And that gives us a little bit of extra momentum, which is nice. So, we're currently, the Agrarian Party and the Liberal Party are sharing power at present. We've got a righteous government. I can boot the Agrarian Party out, but I don't actually want to. They will join forces with the Petit Bourgeois eventually. Catholic Party is weakened significantly, and the armed forces and landowners are fully marginalized at this time. So I'm feeling pretty good about things overall. Now, I need a public health system, and I need it bad. Time to kick this one off. Industrialists are going to be big mad, but, you know, it just is what it is. Well, I could wait. They'll be at -4. They're continuing to go up in opinion about the whole situation. I could wait a little longer. In fact, I think I am going to wait a little longer, because they're still going up in opinion, and once they're feeling a little better, we'll be feeling good about the whole thing. We are a little short on influence, but I'm not. Nope. Uh-oh. Angry Kirby. Not Angry Kirby. Uh-oh. Alright. Empty pockets. A series of perceived poor decisions by the movement to enact total separation of church and state has led to a notable decrease in its ability to raise money. Numerous wealthy sympathizers have quietly halted their support for the movement in its current form. We do not wish to appear partisan. Always the same refrain. The organizer paced back and forth within his tiny office, fist clenched until it felt like his knuckles were about to burst through his skin. Occasionally he stole a glance at the unopened envelopes on his desk, all of which he knew would repeat a variation on the same. Partisan. But what did that mean? That they cared for something? That they'd chosen to do something beyond count the money in their vaults? He had something important to do, something which would improve society itself. They had the chance to do the same. In that light, how could partisanship possibly be bad? Perhaps it will find alternative sources of funds, movement becomes weaker, 2% of pops in Flanders become loyalists, or everything dies in the end, some faster than others. Significantly weaker. I'm just going to do the first one. Extra loyalist is nice. And that's all I have to say about that. War's about to kick off here. Hopefully we'll get it done by Christmas. And then we can pass the territory to Banjar, who can be feeling very happy about being our capital. Go ahead and naval invade the location. And then we can turn Banjar into a dominion, and I'll be very pleased about that. The Petit Bourgeois want technocracy, which is interesting. Donkey! Alright, we got the Steam Donkey unlocked. That's wonderful. Definitely going to get the episode done before too long. Battle's going pretty well. Feeling really good about that overall situation. And rotary valve engine is spreading to us now. Wonderful. So in tech, let's go back to production. We don't need to do steel frame buildings. But I think identification documents is going to be useful in the short term. Oh, no, we need human rights. In fact, I think we need human rights more than we need Ginecol, frankly. Human rights is going to make our... is going to unlock some new laws. We got socialism spreading, but I think human rights is more important. We'll grab socialism after that, so that's going to further increase the strength of the trade unions. And then after that, we'll grab mutual funds and pan-nationalism. No, I don't need pan-nationalism. I need identification documents. Then mutual funds, then pan-nationalism. I'm just doing a bunch of level 3s. I'm going to need feminism eventually. This is going to take a long time, though. But after that, we'll grab a mad dash for electrical power. So, how's the war going? War's going rock solid. Excellent. So, we've conquered the territory now. Banjar, my friend. Here, have a chunk of Borneo. Merry Christmas. Alright, that is the end of our episode. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I'll see you on the other side.